Let's have a look here. What do we got? Chicago Desserts says, talking about how to create 10 points. Says, nice video. What if you had no pied dogs on the last example, no cream dogs on the last example, and only one copy of Brindle from one parent only? Would I have a better chance of getting 10 points?
Ugly 10 points.
Yeah, there you go.
On half of them.
Yeah, so to make 10 points, both parents have to have either AT or A, and you have to end up with puppies that have either AT-AT or AT-A for 10 points. The problem with Brindle is it just ruins the 10 points.
Makes it look like veins going up its legs.
Yeah, you'll see some kind of mottled shading of different variation on their forepaws. Probably won't see anything on their face. That'll all get wiped out. So that's the problem with Brindle. But the answer is, yeah, what is the question? Let's read more.
Anytime you just have one copy of Brindle, you're going to get half your litter is going to be Brindle.
If you get a dog that's got 2 copies of Brindle, every puppy's getting it.
And if you're doing 10 points, you don't need the Brindle in that.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you just got to cope with it. So, yeah, so I hope that explains the question. All right, so Brandon Garza says, my Chihuahua is 8 years old, took him to the vet for his... What was that about?
I have no idea. I guess they were honking at that other
Maybe you want to slow it
vehicle.
up, isn't it?
No, it's the other vehicle.
Took him to the vet for his annual checkup a few months ago. They told me he has a faint heart murmur, level 1. They never found it until this year. He was my stud, and I wanted to get him fixed as he no longer will be in use. But they said he can't go under because he could die. Is this true? Okay, so level 1 heart murmurs, and by the way, I call that sympathetic, and that's not the right word for it in that video. By the way, I spelled murmur on the top of the page too, so there you go. It is called an innocent murmur. An innocent murmur is one that is of no consequence. You can only hear it in a very quiet room with a dog that's being very still and intermittently. And it's just not an issue. You don't do anything for grade 1s or 2s. So, you know, this dog's 8 years old, and so, you know, the answer is if the dog had a level 3 or more, you wouldn't do surgery unless you had to, because there is an increased risk of having problems. I don't think there's any risk at all with a level 1. And, you know, they may have even misdiagnosed it. You may go back and find the level 1's disappeared. So, you know, you've got to do your own judgment on this. You know, your vet's saying otherwise. If it was me, I wanted to have the dog fixed, I'd fix it. You know, at 8 years old, yeah, do you need to get the dog fixed? Yeah, probably not. I mean, she's coped with this dog in the house for 8 years with both of his balonies, so I would probably just not worry about it. But anyway, there you go. Ethan Alali says, I want to thank you for your information. You bet. I live in California. We're talking about terminating an unwanted pregnancy. So basically, please reply fast because my dog got stuck 2 days ago. Thanks so much. So it's 4 hours. That's pretty good for a response, isn't it? Yeah, so here's the problem. The only thing that you can do at home would be a flush. It's too late after 2 days because the semen's already traveled, and if it's going to get an egg fertilized, it's happening. So what can you do? Prednisone, you know, you can take steroids, that'll wipe it out. The problem gets to be is all these things are vet controlled, and without a vet on board, you're going to have a hard time finding anything. There is a pill that you can give. I forget the name of it. I'm sure it's in the video. I talked about the name of it. But again, these are all vet-controlled things, and without a vet...
Well, a lot of these questions people ask, you have videos on it on your website.
Well, he saw that video.
Yeah, okay. So, you know, people that have all these questions and waiting for an answer, they can go to the website, mybreedersupply.com, and look up those answers.
So somebody's asking about the oxygen concentrator. Cody didn't call me back. Okay, well, sorry about that. So the answer is you can order it online at mybreedersupply.com. We have them available, and if we're out, it'll say we're out of stock, and we'll have some more in about another 2 weeks or less.
And you know the way the world is, the shipping is
yeah, but you can
a little bit of a problem, but we're getting them.
But yeah, exactly. But go to mybreedersupply.com. You can order it right there. If it's in stock, it'll say it, and you can get it ordered today. Grand Hootsler. So if both parents have one copy of Testable and the other necessary genes to make Isabella, will there be at least one full Isabella? Well, so the answer to this question is no, it's not guaranteed at all. So the only way that you can guarantee an Isabella is to breed 2 Isabella dogs. Get Isabellas every time. So in your situation, you've got 2 dogs that both carry 2 copies of blue. Great, you're going to get blue dogs. You've got 1 dog that's an Isabella and 1 dog carries a copy. 50% of the litter you'd expect to be Isabellas. But if you had 10 puppies, I'll bet my money that you're going to get an Isabella. If you had 1 puppy, it's a 50-50 shot, and there the odds change. So there is no guarantees. Even if you had an Isabella carrier and you had 10 puppies, occasionally you wouldn't get an Isabella, and occasionally you'd get them all Isabellas. It's like throwing a coin. I can't tell you how the coin's going to throw. I can tell you that if you throw a coin 100 times, on average you'll get 50 heads and 50 tails. But it won't be exactly that, right? There you go. Chicago Desserts, I've got another question here. I have a Frenchie, let's see. I have a Frenchie, had him tested under the male section, it says N268. Does this mean that my boy can carry moral? Yes, he does. He is a moral. He should look visually moral. So not only do you confirm that with the moral test, but visually he should look a moral. If he comes back with that and doesn't look moral, then one of 2 things that happen. The test is screwed up, or you've got a cryptic moral on your hands. And the number 268 gives you an idea about what the pattern's going to be, how loud it's going to be. Okay, Johnny Manziel says, is there a black and tan and a chocolate and tan? On the Color Me Frenchie app, the B locus no copy black creates black, 1 copy. Well, let me just tell you how you make a black and tan or a chocolate and tan. So a chocolate and tan is either going to be little b, AT, or ATA, or it'll be little co, AT, or ATA. Or it could be a combination of both those, and that would be a new shade, tan. To get a black and tan, you've got to have a dog that doesn't have brindle, that is neither blue nor chocolate, and is AT, or ATA. That will produce a black and tan. So a black and tan could be little b, big B, it could be big B, big B, it could be little d, big D, but it cannot be little d, because that'd be a blue and tan. It cannot be little co, because that'd be a chocolate and tan. It has to be, can't have 2 copies of either blues or chocolates, can't have brindle, and either be AT, or ATA. You've got yourself a black and tan. I like black and tans.
I like chocolate and tans.
Do you? I like the way black and tans look because you get this great contrast. I mean, they're not as valuable quite probably as a blue and tan or a chocolate and tan, but I do like the look of a black and tan. Or a lilac and tan. But I do like that really, especially if you get a black and tan that's AT with a copy of cream or double intensity. They really, it's black and white. I mean, it really looks cool. Mount the Prophet says, I've noticed that a cocoa carrier dog sometimes shows glimpses of red eye glow. Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's chocolate. What you're seeing there is just artifacts, doesn't count. So you can take any dog and you can show glimpses of red in its eyes. What you're looking for is a video that shows a consistent red eye glow, and it doesn't show up very well until the dogs are probably 5 weeks or older, sometimes months. But just glimpses of red doesn't count, and it doesn't mean the dog's a carrier, unfortunately. It doesn't give you any indication at all. And of course, merle dogs, it's all off, because merle dogs have red eye glow whether they're chocolate or not. Most of the time. Tammy's going to answer this one. Dobrilla Sheffield-Connect. I've probably slaughtered your name, I'm sorry about that, Dobrilla. My dog is 61 days pregnant and still has no milk in her nipples. Her belly is huge. Please help me.
Sometimes that milk doesn't come in until 3 days after babies are born. Make sure you get a Oxytocin. Well, I can't even say it. I got my mouthpiece
Oxytocin.
In. Yes, thank you. And when you go to the vet to have babies, make sure you get that shot, because that'll help bring it in too.
And if you have a natural whelp, you should have an oxytocin on board anyway. At the back end of the whelp, you give them a shot, about a half a cc. I'm not sure that's the right amount, but it's a very small amount, shot right in their hip, in the muscle. And what it does is it causes what's called smooth muscle contractions, which is what the uterus is. It makes the uterus contract, and that does 2 things. It cleans out any retain placentas, and it helps with milk letdown. So you will see, I would guess that the majority of the time that new mamas do not have any milk before whelp. And typically they have milk, maybe have a little drop showing up, which is basically the colostrum. Putting the babies on mum will help bring her milk in. And do that, and you normally will see milk within a day. But look, start weighing your puppies, and if they're not getting any milk, supplement with a bottle and some goat's milk. It's really easy. Right, there's 11 minutes worth. I think we'll do one more. So,
imagine that.
So, yeah. Okay, bye. Watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.